The parking garage security camera captures everything. Marcus Brennan's hand wrapped around Sage Monroe's throat, her feet barely touching concrete. The slap that echoes off cement walls. The way she crumples when he releases her, briefcase skittering across oil-stained ground. You think you can just quit? His voice bounces through the empty third level. After everything I've done for you. Sage tastes copper. Her cheek throbs where his ring connected. She's a sous chef. Her hands create beauty from raw ingredients, coax flavor from nothing. Those same hands now shake as she pushes herself upright. I gave notice. 2 weeks. Professional. Professional? He laughs, ugly and sharp. You're a line cook who got lucky. You think any restaurant in this city will hire you after I make some calls? She should have known. 3 years at Brennan's, Chicago's hottest fusion restaurant. 3 years of Marcus taking credit for her recipes, her innovations. 3 years of verbal abuse disguised as tough love. Last month, he started touching her shoulder during service. Last week, his hand on her lower back. Yesterday, he cornered her in the walk-in, and Sage finally understood where this was heading. She'd submitted her resignation this morning. Now, Marcus blocks the exit, his cologne thick and threatening. You're not going anywhere, he says. You're going to tear up that letter, apologize, and we're going to discuss your attitude over drinks. My car's right there. Sage's phone is in her locker. Her knife roll too. She calculates distance to the stairwell, too far. Her car behind him. Scream? The garage is empty at midnight. Kitchen crew's long gone. She stands. Wipes blood from her lip with the back of her hand. No. Something flickers across Marcus's face. Surprise? He's not used to her saying no. 3 years of yes, chef. Right away, chef. Whatever you say, chef. What did you just? I said no. Her voice steadies. I'm leaving. You can't stop me. She moves toward the stairwell. His hand clamps on her arm, yanking her back. She stumbles, catches herself against a concrete pillar. Pain blooms across her shoulder. You stupid. The black Genesis GV80 materializes so quietly that Marcus doesn't notice until it's 10 feet away. Headlights on, engine purring, stopping directly between him and Sage. The driver's door opens. Han Jiwoo unfolds from the vehicle like a blade from a sheath. 6'2" of tailored menace in a black suit that probably costs more than Sage's monthly rent. His face could have been carved from marble. Beautiful, cold, absolutely emotionless. Until he sees Sage's split lip. Then something ancient and terrifying moves behind his dark eyes. You have 3 seconds to remove your hand from her, Jiwoo says. His English is perfect, accent minimal. His voice is worse than shouting. It's the quiet before an execution. Marcus doesn't let go. Who the hell are you? Her fiancé. Jiwoo adjusts his cufflinks, the motion casual. Sage knows better. She's learned to read his tells over the past 4 months. The cufflink adjustment means violence is imminent. 2 seconds. Look, buddy, this is between me and my employee, Jiwoo moves. Sage has watched him train. Early mornings in his private gym, fluid and precise. She's seen the scars mapping his torso, the ones he deflects questions about. She knows the rumors, the whispers about the Han family's connections, but they've never discussed it directly. Now she sees exactly who he is. Marcus is on the ground before he can blink. Jiwoo's hand around his throat, knee on his chest, all that cold fury compressed into perfect control. He's not choking him. Not yet. Just holding him there, helpless. You put your hands on her. Not a question. Jiwoo's voice hasn't risen a decibel. You made her bleed. I didn't. It was just, she's being dramatic. Jiwoo looks at Sage. Really looks. Takes in the bruise forming on her cheek, the tear in her chef's coat, the way she's cradling her right arm. His jaw tightens. Jiwoo, Sage says softly. Don't. He stands smoothly, releasing Marcus, who gasps and scrambles backward. But Jiwoo's already pulling out his phone, speaking rapid Korean. Sage catches a few words. Her language lessons are paying off, but his tone is unmistakable. He's giving orders. What are you doing? Marcus's bravado crumbles as 2 more black vehicles pull into the garage. Men emerge. Big men. Quiet men. The kind who don't need to announce themselves. Documenting, Jiwoo says. My associate is pulling the security footage. My attorney is already drafting assault charges. My media contact at the Tribune is very interested in stories about celebrity chefs abusing their staff. He tilts his head, considering. How many other women, I wonder? Should we ask around your kitchen? Marcus goes white. You can't. I own the building. Jiwoo's smile is surgical. I bought it this afternoon. I also bought your vendor's contracts. Your liquor license goes through my distributor. Your reservation system? My software. He crouches to Marcus's level. You're finished. The only question is how publicly you'd like to be destroyed. Sage should feel triumphant. Instead, she feels dizzy. Jiwoo is beside her instantly, studying her. His hands are gentle, but she can feel the rage vibrating through him. Can you walk? He asks, all that cold fury vanishing when he speaks to her. I'm okay. You're bleeding. I'm okay, she repeats. He lifts her anyway, carrying her to the Genesis. One of his men, she recognizes Min-suk, his head of security, approaches Marcus with a tablet and a very specific smile. Sign, Min-suk says. Transfer of restaurant ownership. Effective immediately. In the car, Jiwoo finally lets his composure crack. His hands shake as he examines her face. Featherlight touches checking for serious injury. I should have been here earlier, he says. I knew you were working late. I should have. How did you know to come at all? His expression goes carefully blank. We should discuss that. Later. First, the hospital. I don't need. Please. The word breaks slightly. Let me make sure you're all right. She nods. As they drive into Chicago's glittering night, Sage realizes the 4-month engagement she thought she understood just revealed its first real truth. Han Ji-woo isn't who she thought he was, and she's about to discover exactly what it means to be claimed by a man who operates in the shadows. The private hospital room smells like lavender and expensive disinfectant. Sage sits on the examination table while a doctor, who arrived within 15 minutes of Ji-woo's call, checks her pupils, examines her bruised cheek, manipulates her shoulder gently. Through the door's window, she can see Ji-woo pacing, phone pressed to his ear, speaking Korean in that clipped tone that means business. Dangerous business. Mild contusion, no concussion, the doctor says. Shoulders bruised, but functional. Ice and ibuprofen. You're lucky. Lucky. Sage almost laughs. She met Han Ji-woo 4 months ago when he walked into Brennan's for the private dining experience she'd designed. A 7-course tasting menu that took her 3 weeks to perfect. Marcus had presented it as his own creation, of course, but Ji-woo had asked to meet the actual chef. Somehow he'd known. He'd return the next night. And the next. By week 2, he was bringing her coffee during her morning prep. By week 3, he'd asked her to dinner. By month 2, he'd proposed. My family is traditional, he'd said, kneeling in his penthouse overlooking Lake Michigan. They expect me to marry. I need someone strong, independent. Someone who understands discretion. The ring had been his grandmother's, a flawless diamond set in platinum, delicate and devastating. I can offer you security, protection, a partnership built on mutual respect. It wasn't a love confession, but his eyes had held something raw when he'd asked, and Sage, exhausted from Marcus's escalating harassment, drowning in student loans, sending money to her mother in Atlanta, had said yes. They'd been engaged 3 months. Living together for 2 separate bedrooms, polite dinners, careful distance. Until tonight, Ji-woo enters as the doctor leaves. He's removed his suit jacket, rolled his sleeves. There's blood on his collar, her blood. The doctor said, I heard. He stands 3 feet away, hands clenched. Sage, I need to tell you something. That you're connected to organized crime? She says it flatly. That the import business you run is probably a front? That you have enough power to destroy a man's entire life in 2 hours. His jaw tightens. Yes. Okay. I grew up in Atlanta's West End. I know what real power looks like. She slides off the table, wincing. I know the difference between legal money and the kind that comes with muscle. I'm not naive, Ji-woo. I just didn't ask because what? Because their arrangement felt too fragile for truth? Because she was afraid of what she'd discover? Because you were afraid I'd be like him, Ji-woo finishes quietly. Like Marcus, another man who'd use power to hurt you. Are you? I would burn myself alive before I hurt you. The words are immediate, fierce. But I've hurt people. I've done things that would horrify you. My family controls half of Chicago's underground economy. Protection, gambling, trade. We're not good people, Sage. But you've never lied to me. I've never told you the whole truth. She steps closer. He holds himself perfectly still, like she's something wild that might bolt. Tell me now. Everything. So he does. The Han family came to Chicago 3 generations ago, built an empire through ruthlessness and strategy. Jiwoo's father ran operations until a rival family's ambush left him dead when Jiwoo was 19. His mother followed 6 months later. Grief, officially. Pills, actually. Jiwoo had inherited everything at 20. Spent 10 years consolidating power, eliminating threats, building legitimate businesses as shields. The engagement was real necessity. His uncle was pushing for merger with another family, wanted Jiwoo married to strengthen alliances. But I couldn't go through with an arranged marriage to someone I didn't know, Jiwoo says. Someone who'd be another transaction. So when I met you, he stops. You were so alive, creating art from ingredients, pouring yourself into every dish. You saw me, really saw me, not the name or the money. And I thought if I have to marry, let it be someone real. That's why you kept coming back to the restaurant. That's why I couldn't stay away. His voice drops. The engagement was supposed to be practical. Keep my uncle satisfied, give you financial security, maintain professional distance. But then you started leaving books in my study, making tea the way I like it, asking about my day like you actually cared. He runs a hand through his hair. I'm falling for you, Sage. Have been since you laughed at my terrible joke about molecular gastronomy. And that makes you the most dangerous person in my world. Because enemies will target me. Because I'll do anything to protect you, including things that reveal exactly how ruthless I can be. His eyes meet hers. I had Marcus investigated the day after you accepted my proposal. I knew he was harassing you. I bought his supplier contracts 2 weeks ago, preparing leverage. I've had security following you every shift for a month. Sage's breath catches. You've been watching me? Protecting you. There's a difference. Is there? I never restricted your freedom. Never told you where to go, who to see. I just made sure that if something happened, his control cracks. When I saw the security feed from the garage, when I saw his hands on you, I wanted to kill him. I still want to kill him. But you didn't. Because you asked me not to. He closes the distance between them. You have no idea the power you hold over me. One word from you, and I'd walk away from everything. My family, my business, all of it. Sage touches his face, feels the muscle jumping in his jaw. I don't want you to walk away. I want you to be honest. No more watching from the shadows. No more protection I don't know about. I can't stop protecting you. Then do it beside me, not behind me. She rises on her toes, kisses him softly. Be my partner for real, not just a name. He kisses her back like she's air and he's drowning. When they finally break apart, his forehead rests against hers. The restaurant is yours now, he says. Marcus signed over everything. You can run it, sell it, burn it down. Your choice. Mine. You're a brilliant chef, Sage. You should never cook in someone else's shadow again. Later, in the Genesis heading back to the penthouse, Sage asks, what happens to Marcus? He'll leave Chicago. Permanently. The assault charges stand. I'm not letting that go. But he'll serve probation, not jail time. In exchange for his silence about certain business matters. Jiwoo's hand finds hers. He'll never cook professionally again. That's not negotiable. And the other women? The ones he hurt. Minsuk is contacting them, offering settlements, support, legal representation if they want to press charges. All anonymous, routed through shell companies. They'll never know it came from us. Sage leans her head on his shoulder. For months ago, she'd said yes to a marriage of convenience. Tonight, she's choosing something infinitely more complicated. Your uncle, she says. He won't approve of this. Me. Us. My uncle doesn't run my life. But the merger is happening on my terms or not at all. His arm tightens around her. You're not a bargaining chip, Sage. You're my fiancé. Sue, my wife. Anyone who can't respect that doesn't deserve a seat at my table. At the penthouse, Jiwoo carries her inside despite her protests. Settles her on the couch with ice and painkillers. Disappears into the kitchen. Her kitchen now, she realizes. She's been slowly taking it over with her spices and tools. He returns with tea. Sits beside her. Takes her hand. I know this isn't what you signed up for, he says. The violence. The danger. If you want to walk away, do you want me to? No. God, no. The admission sounds torn from him. I want you to stay. I want to wake up to you in my kitchen, teaching me to properly dice onions. I want to hear about your day. He stops. I want everything. but only if you want it to. Sage sets down her tea, shifts closer, ignoring her protesting shoulder. I grew up watching my mother work 3 jobs to keep us fed, watching her pour everything into men who took and gave nothing back. I promised myself I'd never be that woman. She cups his face. You're the first man who's ever asked what I want, who's ever protected me without trying to control me, who sees me as a partner, not a possession. You are my partner in everything. She kisses him, and this time it's not gentle. It's all the fear from the parking garage, all the relief of being safe, all the want she's been suppressing for 4 months. He responds carefully at first, then with building hunger, his hands in her hair, her body pressed against his. When they finally surface, both breathing hard, Jiwoo's composure is completely shattered. He looks vulnerable, utterly undone. Stay, he whispers. Choose this. Choose me. I already did, Sage says. 4 months ago. I'm just choosing you for real now. That night, she doesn't sleep in the guest room, and Jiwoo learns that the scariest thing in his world isn't rival families or federal investigations. It's loving someone enough to give them the power to destroy you. The wedding happens 3 months later in the penthouse's garden terrace. Sage wears a custom gown that blends Korean and Western traditions, white silk with delicate hanbok-inspired embroidery, designed by a Seoul artist Jiwoo flew in specifically for her. The guest list is small: Jiwoo's brother Taemin, a few trusted associates, Sage's mother, who cried for 20 minutes when she met Jiwoo, and her best friend Maya from culinary school. No Marcus. He's in Portland now, working as a prep cook under a fake name, too terrified of Jiwoo's reach to ever speak about what happened. No Jiwoo's uncle. He tried to block the marriage, demanding Jiwoo choose someone appropriate. Jiwoo had removed him from the family business entirely. Taemin now handles external alliances, and he adores Sage. The ceremony is simple. Traditional vows, exchanged as spring blooms perfume the air. When Jiwoo lifts her veil, his hands shake slightly. I love you, he says, first time he's spoken the words in front of witnesses. I will protect you, cherish you, stand beside you. Always. I love you, Sage responds. I will trust you, challenge you, choose you. Every day. The kiss is soft, reverent, witnessed by the Chicago skyline stretching gold and glass behind them. At the reception, Taemin gives a toast in Korean, then English. My brother has always been the strongest person I know. Tonight, I learned that true strength is letting someone see you completely and trusting they'll stay. Sage, you've given him something our world usually destroys: hope. Welcome to the family. Sage's mother pulls her aside, eyes wet. Baby girl, I was so worried when you told me about him. About his business. But that man looks at you like you hum the stars. He's complicated, mama. All the good ones are. Just promise me you're happy. Sage glances at Jiwoo, deep in conversation with Taemin, his rare smile softening his features. I promise. The restaurant, renamed Sage, opens 2 months after the wedding. Sage rebuilt everything from scratch. New menu celebrating her Southern roots and Korean influences. Fair wages, zero tolerance for harassment, profit sharing for the kitchen staff. It's revolutionary and risky, and absolutely her vision. Opening night, Jiwoo sits at the chef's table, watching her work. She moves through the kitchen like conducting an orchestra, precise, passionate, commanding respect without cruelty. Everything Marcus could never be. The Tribune review comes the next week. Chef Sage Han has created something extraordinary, a restaurant that feeds the soul as much as the body. Her homecoming tasting menu is a masterclass in flavor and emotion. 5 stars. Reservations booked solid for 6 months. Sage finds her rhythm. Mornings with Jiwoo over coffee, afternoons prepping for service, evenings in her kitchen creating art. He never interferes with the restaurant, never uses his influence to manipulate reviews. This success is purely hers. But he does handle security. After the Marcus incident, he's not taking chances. Discreet cameras, trained staff, vetted suppliers. Sage accepts it because she understands his fear now. She's learned about the attempts on his life, the close calls, the cost of the world he navigates. She's also learned how to navigate it beside him. At family meetings, she sits at his right hand. Doesn't speak unless she has something valuable to contribute. But when she does, people listen. She's become fluent in Korean, studies the culture, earns respect through genuine effort. You're terrifying, Tae-min tells her one evening. In the best way. Half the families want to negotiate with you instead of Ji-woo now. That's because I feed them well first, Sage says. Hard to threaten someone who just made you the best meal of your life. The first real test comes 8 months into their marriage. A rival family targets the restaurant. Nothing violent. They're not that stupid. But health inspectors appear weekly, suppliers get pressured, staff receive job offers elsewhere. It's meant to bleed. Her business slowly. Sage handles it herself. She documents everything meticulously, reaches out to other restaurant owners who've faced similar pressure, builds a coalition, takes it to the media with a story about small businesses fighting organized harassment. The public outcry is immediate. The health department launches an internal investigation. The harassment stops. Ji-woo watches the whole thing with a mixture of pride and concern. You could have asked for help. I wanted to handle it myself. Prove I'm not just your wife. I'm a force in this city on my own terms. You've always been that. He pulls her close. But next time someone threatens you, at least tell me. My blood pressure can't take finding out from the news. She laughs against his chest. Deal. Their first anniversary, Ji-woo gives her a gift. The deed to a culinary training center in her name, fully funded, located in Atlanta's West End. For kids like you were, he says. Talented. Hungry. Needing a chance. Sage cries. This is too much. It's not enough. You've given me everything. A real marriage, a real home, a reason to build something better than what I inherited. Let me give you this. The center opens the following spring. Sage splits her time between Chicago and Atlanta, mentoring students, creating opportunities. Ji-woo comes with her often, shocking her old neighborhood by showing up in expensive suits to taste student dishes and offer genuine feedback. He's not what I expected, Maya says, watching Ji-woo explain knife techniques to a teenage student. Scary powerful, yes, but also kind. Only to people who deserve it, Sage says. Everyone else gets the other side. She's seen that side. The cold strategist who dismantled a trafficking ring operating near her Atlanta center. The ruthless negotiator who destroyed a corrupt inspector trying to shake down her students. The dangerous man who makes problems disappear. But she's also seen him cry at the center's first graduation. Seen him learn to make her grandmother's cornbread. Seen him fall asleep with his head in her lap while she reads, completely vulnerable. Year 2 brings their biggest challenge. Sage gets pregnant. It's unplanned, terrifying, perfect. Ji-woo goes into overdrive, upgrading security, hiring bodyguards, trying to wrap her in cotton. I'm pregnant, not fragile, she says. I can still run my restaurant. You're carrying our child in a world where my enemies would love to use that against me. Then we handle it together. Like everything else. They do. Sage works through her second trimester, finally stepping back when her doctor insists. The restaurant thrives under her sous chef, a woman she trained specifically to take over. Ji-woo rearranges his entire schedule to be home more, working from the penthouse office. Their daughter is born on a snowy January morning. They name her Hannah, grace in both their cultures. Ji-woo cries when he holds her. She's perfect. You're perfect. I don't deserve this. Yes, you do, Sage says, exhausted and radiant. We both do. Parenthood transforms them. Ji-woo becomes even more protective but also softer, finding joy in small moments. Sage learns to accept help, building a support network of staff and family. The restaurant becomes a family business in new ways. Sage's mother visits monthly, teaching Hannah's nanny traditional Southern cooking. Tae-min is the devoted uncle, spoiling his niece ruthlessly. The restaurant staff treats Hannah like a tiny celebrity when Sage brings her for visits. On Hannah's first birthday, they gather in the penthouse, the whole messy, complicated family they've built. Sage watches Ji-woo hold their daughter, singing softly in Korean, and feels overwhelmed by gratitude. This life isn't what she planned. It's dangerous, complicated, built on foundations that would horrify her younger self. But it's hers. Chosen. Real. Later, after everyone leaves and Hannah's asleep, Ji-woo finds Sage on the terrace overlooking the city. Thinking about the parking garage, he asks, wrapping his arms around her. Thinking about how that was the worst and best night. She leans back against him. Marcus broke something open. Forced us to be honest. I would have found another way. Eventually. Would you? He's quiet. I don't know. Maybe I would have stayed in the shadows forever, afraid to reach for something real. I'm glad you reached. I'm glad you stayed. They stand there as Chicago glitters below, their daughter sleeping safe inside, their future uncertain but faced together. Sage Monroe grew up believing love meant sacrifice, suffering, pouring yourself out until nothing remained. Han Jiwoo grew up believing love was weakness, a vulnerability enemies would exploit. Together, they learned that real love is choice, protection without possession, strength through partnership, the courage to be completely seen and the trust to believe you'll be cherished anyway. Marcus Brennan thought he could break Sage in a parking garage. Instead, he shattered the last walls between her and the man who'd been waiting in the shadows, desperate for permission to step into the light. Some love stories start with flowers and poetry. Theirs started with violence and ended with grace. And in the city that never stops moving, they built something still, a home, a family, a love that even Chicago's darkest corners couldn't touch. Not bad for a marriage that started as a business arrangement. Not bad at all.